Hello, my dear opportunity seekers, and welcome to a new episode of the Remarkable Opportunities podcast. Have you ever wondered why, despite setting ambitious goals, something always seems to hold you back? For example, you're hesitating to dream big in the first place, or for example, you're thinking that your dreams are out of reach. Today we are diving into something really crucial, your limiting beliefs, or also called mental blockages. Something that many really overlook before they are setting goals, but it's so important to talk about limiting beliefs or mental blockages before we start setting goals, because these hidden barriers really prevent us from dreaming big and also prevent us from reaching our true potential. But what if I told you by eliminating these limiting beliefs, you could set goals that really align with who you are? So if you're ready to dream big enough, then stay with me, because we will explore why it is so essential to break free from those limiting beliefs so that you can really fully unlock the life you deserve. In the last episode, I spoke about letting go and why letting go is so important. And today we are taking that concept deeper by focusing on our inner barriers that may have been holding you back for years. So before we set any goals, it's so essential to ask yourself, what's standing in my way? And more importantly, why am I holding on to this? So only by clearing those old limiting thoughts, we can really dream big enough. Do you also know this voice? I can't. I think every one of us has had this thought in our mind at least once. So this is called a limiting belief. And the truth is, these beliefs don't come out of nowhere. They come from our inner world. They grow and settle in our minds over time, often without us even realizing it. And most of the time, these beliefs come from our past experiences. For example, moments where we have failed, or where we faced criticism, or felt like we weren't good enough. Often also from our childhood, or for example, from society or the media we are consuming. So little by little, these beliefs embed themselves so deeply in our unconscious mind that they start to feel like they are true. The most interesting part is that they run in the background so quietly, shaping the way we see the world and what we think is possible. It's like wearing glasses with a lens that is really clouded, but we've worn these glasses so long that we have forgotten what our vision looks like. So why is it so important to eliminate those limiting beliefs before we set goals? Because I found out that if we don't, we shrink our vision and we do not get active and we don't go towards the life we are deserving. So have you ever thought, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, or this is impossible? These are really subtle yet powerful examples of limiting beliefs. And here's the thing, they are no facts, they are just beliefs. They are just thoughts that are holding you back from seeing your full potential. And for me personally, when I realized that these mental blockages existed, my whole life changed. I have never heard about limiting beliefs before I was 27. And when I have heard about this topic, I thought to myself, why has no one ever told me about this before? This is so important to know. And I didn't even know how powerful those beliefs were and how shrinking they were to my self-worth, and not to my self-worth, to my self-love, and also to my dreams and my desires. I, for example, used to think that success was not for me. I had the belief that I was not good enough and I was not lovable, and with these beliefs, other beliefs came too. And the thing is, I didn't even know what self-love was at this time. But after I started asking myself, is that really true what I am thinking? And the answer, of course, was no. Then I really started to reflect on myself where those limiting beliefs came from, and I realized that they didn't came from me, they came from my environment. So I learned, when I really want to dream big, that before I start doing that, I first need to get rid of my limiting beliefs. And I used a few techniques which I will show you in a few seconds to work through this. Like, for example, writing down all my thoughts that didn't align with who I wanted to be, reflecting on them and consciously replacing them with affirmations that matched my potential. So the methods I used to overcome my limiting beliefs were: first, journaling. I sat down first and asked myself, for as long as something came into my mind, which limiting beliefs are holding me back. And then I wrote down really everything that came into my mind. The second thing is that I sat down for 20 minutes and I put it in a timer, and I said to myself, I want to see all my thoughts for 20 minutes. And the thing is that you have 60,000 till 80,000 thoughts per day. This is why I think it's so important to have a positive, uplifting and happy mindset. And I saw, after I did this exercise for 20 minutes, that there were so many weird thoughts. And sometimes I really had to laugh because my thoughts didn't even make sense, and I wanted to change that. The second method I want to introduce to you is that I started by simply noticing when a limiting belief popped up. So every time I caught myself thinking, I can't do this, I stopped myself and I asked myself, is this really true? And often the answer was no. And this shift really allowed me to change those thoughts before they could even take a hold. And for this exercise, it was often really necessary to focus on my thoughts without paying attention to the environment. The third method is reframing your thoughts. So every time I caught myself thinking I can't, I consciously changed the statement towards I can't do it yet. And this shifted my mindset from limitation towards possibility. So the last method I want to introduce you to is also a really powerful. So I identified all barriers and have taken stones and myself as a little tiny mempo, and at the end there was my dream life. So here has I been and here was my dream life. And I put stones on all blockages that were holding me back between me and my really dream life. So I have seen clearly what is holding me back, and then I saw it right in front of me what I needed to work on or eliminate to go towards my dreams. So after I identified all my limiting beliefs, I really made it a priority to change them. One key method I use until today, every time I go to bed or wake up or even during the day, I use affirmations. Those are positive statements that counteract those old beliefs, and they are helping to rewire your mindset, because these symbolic acts create a sense of closure for me. Also, let's talk about how this connects with the law of vibration. So everything is energy, including our thoughts. And when we hold on to limiting beliefs, we lower our vibration. But when we start believing in our potential and our energy shifts towards a positive mindset and that we have positive thoughts, the universe responds in kind. So this is how the law of attraction works. What we put out, we will get back. But I want to do an extra episode on the laws because I think it's so important to know about them. And it really changed my life when I heard about them and when I started to use them in my favor. So as we wrap up, I want you to reflect on what beliefs are holding me back. What have you been telling yourself about your potential? So over the next few days, pay attention to your thoughts. Notice when you say, I can't do this, and ask yourself, is this really true? I think you know the answer already, and I bet you will be surprised how often the answer is no. And here's something I want you to remember, and I really want you to remember this. So everything that you are dreaming about, you can achieve. Because if you have the power to dream about it, I think you also have the power to make it happen. Don't let those mental blockages or limiting beliefs stop you from stepping into your dream life and the life you truly desire. So in my next episodes, I will speak about setting goals, but this time without limitations. And now that we've begun clearing away those beliefs that no longer serves us, that were holding us back, we will explore how setting goals with clarity, confidence, and also with a new sense of possibility will look like. So if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and share it with a friend who also needs to hear this message. And tune in to next episode to learn more about how personal development can help you unlock your potential, and let's explore ourselves and the possibilities of our life together. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate and write me a DM or in the comments. All the best, your Alex.